Guy Reschenthaler represents Pennsylvania's 14th district in the U.S. Congress. And after 2 years of one-party rule, the Democrats' main achievements are skyrocketing inflation and a looming recession. But we're going to ask the congressman if Republicans have a plan to reverse the damage that's made Americans poor and put the country deeper in debt. Please welcome to the show, Congressman Guy Reschenthaler. Congressman, great having you here.
Governor, thanks for having me on. Really appreciate it.
You know, you are one of the only people in Congress that is unopposed for election. I've always said there's only two ways to run for office, unopposed or scared. You actually are running unopposed. That's amazing.
I've been running for office for almost 10 years now. It's the first time I've had no primary, no general, but it's really a testament to my district and the folks in it that because of their support, I'm now freed up to go around the country and help other folks campaign. And I'm focused a lot on the Dr. Oz race too for the Senate. But it's the support back home that enables me to do that.
So tell us, how's that one going to turn out? I can't imagine that people would vote for John Fetterman, and not because of his stroke, but because of his crazy views on everything. Will Dr. Oz pull that out?
I'm confident Dr. Oz wins this thing by 3 or 4%.
Really?
And you're exactly right. It's not the health issue.
Yeah.
I tell people don't attack Fetterman on his health.
Yeah.
It's his policies that are really bringing him down. I mean, this is a guy that wants to release 1/3 of all prisoners in the state of Pennsylvania, do away with cash bail. He wants to do away with second-degree murder, and anybody that's in prison for second-degree murder, just release them. And we're dealing with crime that's spiking in Philadelphia, spiking in Pittsburgh. Literally in Philadelphia, it's the highest murder rate. We're on track to have the highest murder rate in the history of them keeping that stat. So as long as Dr. Oz focuses on crime, the economy, the fracking issue, he's going to win by 3 or 4%.
I'm intrigued by the fact you served in the U.S. Navy. You were in the JAG Corps. So you've done service in uniform. As a member of Congress, how much is that helpful that you have served the country when you're voting on military appropriations? Does it give you a better insight, a little more sense of, you know, these guys are not getting the support they need?
It does, especially when you're trying to fight for increased pay for the enlisted members of our military that are grossly underpaid. But it's also about a sense of service. I view serving in Congress as just a continuation of my service in the military.
Well, you know, I'm impressed, and you said that it was a testament to the people of your district. It's a testament to you that nobody says, yeah, I'm going to run against that guy because he's no good. I mean, it's a wonderful thing to be in the position you are. You're also a person that's been on the fast track to leadership. You're going to be one of the appropriators when Republicans take over the House. Most people may not understand that's not something that typically happens in the first even 10 years of a congressman's tenure. You're going to be there after, what, 4 years?
I'm heading, yes, I'm on appropriations now, got there in my sophomore term, but and hopefully I'll be on there next year as well. But, you know, I got into Congress, I had no desire to be on the Appropriations Committee. I was on Judiciary and Foreign Affairs, which of course fit my background. But I quickly realized that because I have so many different interests, the only way I can touch everything I want to touch is through the appropriations process, because everything has to run through appropriations. So I made an effort, got on appropriations. I'm on the State and Foreign Ops subcommittee. So I got the foreign affairs aspect of that, and then energy and water, which is incredibly important to my district.
Yeah. Well, I just think it's extraordinary that you're going to be in a position of real power, because that's what the appropriators have is real power. Not just making speeches, but making the decisions that affect everything else that happens in Congress. Congressman, I'd love to get a little comfort from you. Tell me that if Republicans really get this majority, you're not going to squander it. You're going to go and hold some people accountable for the abuses of government.
You know, Governor, everywhere I go, I'm talking to folks, and that's their biggest concern, that we're going to have a repeat of what we had in the past. But I tell everybody, this is a different Republican Party. If you look at Congress, for example, the House, over 50% of those members were Republican members, came in with either Trump at the top of the ticket or when he was in the White House. This has really been a party that's shifted to mirror the MAGA agenda much more than it has in the past. And if you look at the leaders, Kevin McCarthy will be Speaker, much more conservative than speakers we've had in the past.
Yes, indeed.
Whip Scalise will be leader,
Great guy.
very conservative. Tom Emmer likely will be the incoming whip. These are very conservative members, and it's going to be a different kind of conference than what we had under former speakers.
But aren't you a little worried, Congressman? I mean, Joe Biden says that these MAGA Republicans are a threat to democracy.
I'm very excited for when we take back the House because we're going to have robust oversight and investigation. Frankly, we're going to make Joe Biden wish that the last election didn't go the way it did. But we're going to look at Fauci. We're going to look at Hunter Biden. We're going to look at...
You've got a lot of support across the country to do that.
But I think Fauci will actually have his own parking spot at the plaza because we're going to call him in so much. But we're also going to focus on the commitment to America, which Kevin McCarthy rolled out. And it's basically like a revamp of the contract with America, but it says what we want to do. And it's really simple. Four pillars: an economy that's strong, a nation that's safe, a future built on freedom, and a government accountable to the people. Very, very simple, straightforward. And if we just focus on those four things, we're really going to make a difference. And we're going to set up the stage for a Republican takeover of the White House in 2024.
You know, if that all happens, there's going to be a lot of Americans quite happy. And I think a lot of people, even who are Democrats, are going to be pleasantly surprised that you focus on things that matter. When I heard the president's speech last night, I'm thinking, is he that out of touch that he never mentioned the border? He never mentioned the economy or inflation. He never mentioned crime, not once. And all he talked about was what happened to Paul Pelosi, which was horrible. Nobody is anything but disgusted by that. But it's almost like that he was oblivious to the fact that 330 Americans are really hurting out there.
You know, Governor, I think that so often people in Washington, D.C., they just live in this echo chamber. They're talking to each other. They're not going back like we are back to the district, flying around the country, and they just get caught up in these tracks. But what they don't realize is if you ask the average voter what they care about, it's inflation, it's the economy, it's crime, it's education. And all four of those, the top four things that individuals are concerned about, they trust Republicans much more than they trust the Democrats. That's why this environment is so good for us heading into these midterm elections. That's why I think we're going to have one of the largest majorities of Republicans that we've had in 100 years. And it's possible.
Yeah.
And if you look at it, the president's party typically loses 27 seats on average in the midterm elections.
And the country is ready for some significant improvement in the way things are being handled. Congressman, it is a pleasure to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
From the time I first met you, I said, this guy has got his head screwed on straight, one of the smartest people we've got, and I'm thrilled you're on the Appropriations Committee. Now, for our audience, head over to Huckabee.tv. You can follow the congressman on social media and find out more about the work that he's not just doing for the people of Pennsylvania, but for all of America.
Hey, you. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Since you're still here, let me share something with you. If you click on the subscribe button below, hit that notification bell next to it, and click the like button, you know what that's going to do? Virtually guarantee that you don't turn into an AOC fanatic. Do it now, before it's too late.